Hello again and welcome to the third week of our Stretch and Revive classes. Apologies, my recording equipment didn't work for me well last week, so we weren't able to get it recorded. But today I've learnt and hopefully no more mistakes will be made. So before we get started, obviously we need a little band just to help us out with the exercises. Don't need it, but if you do have one, a scarf or a towel or something just long and that you can hold is always handy. So we'll get started with just a few little neck stretches to start us off. So just sitting how you normally would. I'm sitting on my feet, but if you want to sit in cross-legged, it's up to you, but just anywhere where you feel comfortable. Just going to get some blood moving through our neck before we get started. So I was thinking we'll make our way from the top down today. I'm going to do a few upper body exercises, and if we get to it, we might get some lower body in as well. And then gently just rolling around. What feels good for you? That's the main thing. So I'm glad to have you guys looking at this class. It's a new type of class. I always thought, oh, stretching for half an hour? What is that? How can I fit that many stretches in? But it's actually very easy. There's so many stretches we can do. If you haven't gone the other way, you can go the other way. When you do this one, try and feel all the muscles in your neck. Just stretch, and as you go down as well, do a little chin tuck and feel it all through your back. And then we'll just start rolling the shoulders. So up and down and back. So rolling around. Oh. Okay, now that we've got some blood moving, let's give ourselves a nice wrist stretch. So we're going to start off with arm out in front and just pulling really gently through that hand. So make sure your hand is facing upwards and we're pulling it down. So if you want to, you can go up on your knees. I'm going to, but you don't have to. You can stay seated. So changing over now, hand facing the other way, and we're going to pull it the opposite way. So it's really good to do these stretches for your forearms and your wrists and your biceps, because we don't realize that having tight muscles up through these muscles here can actually cause these ones up here to start getting tight, and then we get to our neck. So it's really good to keep the stretch going and try not to let them get too tight, because they are quite tight when they want to be. And going over to the other hand now, so palm facing up, and we're just going to pull it off and stretch through our wrist and also through these flexion muscles and our biceps. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. And that's better, long neck. And palm facing the opposite way, and we're just going to pull and stretch that way. Take some time to take some big deep breaths. These are only small muscles, but we'll get into the big ones. And now what we're going to do is palms both facing up. We're going to place them on the ground, only if you're comfortable. And we're just going to lean back. So this one's a bit more of a stretch for our biceps. So start with maybe just coming forward a bit, and then as you feel comfortable, you can start to lean back into it. And you should feel it through your wrists and through your biceps. You don't have to be on your feet, you can be on hands and knees. If this is really uncomfortable though for your wrists and you're not liking it, just please stop doing it and we'll get to the next stretch shortly. Okie dokie, now roll those wrists around, get some blood pumping. That's our biceps done. So we've done the biceps, we're going to do the triceps now. So we're going to lift, this is where the band might come in handy if you need it, arm up, and we're going to try and touch our shoulder blades in the middle. And with the other hand, if you're able, going to come round and hold onto that arm. Now this is where this is handy. If you can't reach, get that band behind and just pull. So I'll show you from behind. So we're just going to pull from behind to give that tricep a nice stretch. So I'll come back. Hello. If this is still not able, you can't get your arm around, then we could also just give our tricep a gentle push. But we want to try and stretch. Keep our elbow high, don't have it off to the side. If you can't get it up there, then that's also fine. Welcome, welcome. We're just starting out, we're doing some upper body exercises. We're doing the triceps. That's an idea. Again, if the band is just not doing it for you, give it a little push with the other arm. And we're changing arms now. So, other elbow up. You can either hold it behind your back, or you can push on your elbow, or you can get a little band behind there to help out. Triceps are another one that get quite tight, which can lead to some shoulder pain or neck pain. I know I went to a remedial massage therapist once with neck pain, and she looked at my triceps and was like, these are so tight. And I can't even tell you the amount of pain I was in. I think it was a 10. 10 out of 10 pain. Triceps are the worst. Oh. And now what we're going to do, we're going to switch arms again. Go back to the first one. This one you do need to have your hand on your elbow if you can. If it's not available, just have it reaching up. And what we're going to do is we're going to come off to the side. And we're going to stretch through our side body with this one. So you'll feel this through that lat muscle, which was ultimately another one that she stuck pins in and said was very tight, and another very painful part of my life. Make sure you're comfortable where you're sitting. If you're in a chair, that could even be a handy thing. I find this comfortable for myself, but everyone's different. Doesn't really matter what we're doing with the lower body at this stage. We're just trying to reach and stretch the upper body at the moment. And going over to the other arm. So find that integrity through the stretch first and then lean. So when we do these stretches, try and have as much kind of control as you can. Don't just throw your body into it. We want to set up ourselves to be able to get the best out of it. Because if we're throwing our body out into the stretches, we might not get the desired benefit. I can't lean very much. You might be able to get much more than me. Don't know if you guys know, but my back has scoliosis, so I don't have a straight back, which limits me somewhat. You'll probably find them very unflexible, so these classes are a bit different. Oh, and Relaxado. Oh, give your neck a bit of a roll. Hopefully that loosened up some of the upper body muscles. We're going to do some chest now. The chest is one of the most important. So I've put chairs near my mat here because you need something to hold on to. So if it's a piece of wall, if you're just up against the wall, or a chair that's solid, what we're going to do is we're going to hold on and we're just going to twist away from it. So the chair's enough for me. But if you've got something there that's just solid, I've doubled them up so they're a bit stronger. So we want our hand, I know it's hard, but the first stretch is our hand is that parallel to our shoulder. So for me, I'd probably need to sit down a bit more. And that way we're working through a specific type of part of our chest. So hand parallel, and we're just twisting. Oh, I could probably stand up against the wall here actually. Yeah, let's do that. So our chest muscles are quite tight, you might find, if you're working at a desk all day, because we naturally sit in a slumped posture. I don't know why, it's what happens. We do recommend you to sit up straight, but at the end of the day, we start to get lower and lower, putting our elbows on the table. So stretching out through the chest just helps to open it up, because sometimes when that gets tight, it can pull on your neck as well. Okay, now I'm going to need to go to the wall. What we're going to do is put our hand a bit higher than our shoulder, and we're going to twist again. So you'll find that it'll get a bit lower, a bit more through that underarm. So by moving our hand up and down, we're just kind of varying where we're getting the stretch in our chest. Because obviously there's not one stretch that'll get all the muscle fibers. I put my hand wherever feels good. Honestly, it's a how you feel kind of thing, so put your hand wherever you feel right. And then we're going to put it lower this time. So a bit lower than the shoulder. I can now come over here. And twisting again, you'll feel it probably a bit higher now through that shoulder joint. So the important thing is our arm is straight relatively. I don't know about you guys, but my chest is very tight, so I'm just like, trying to breathe through this one. Especially if you're twisting a lot into it. You can take it easy on them. You don't have to go into that real pain center to start off with. We don't want you to be in pain. If it's really hurting and you're getting shooting pain, it might be a cause for stopping and maybe going to check it out with your doctor. Hopefully not. And rest it out. Give your shoulder a bit of a roll. That's one side done. We'll go over to the other side now. So I've got my chairs again. So this one, just arm parallel to your shoulder. So it should be the same level, and we're just twisting away. Very much loving the end of spring now. The summer months are coming, and I love the sun. I don't know about you guys, but getting out in the water, oh yeah, thumbs up for that. Double thumbs up for that. The ocean is the best. WA beaches are just incredible. Can you guys really feel that through that middle chest there? This is usually the one that is the tightest. And we're going higher than our shoulder joint. So I'm going to go to the wall here. Hopefully, yeah, you can still see me. So going a bit higher now. Might not look it, but this stretch is so intense if you want to make it. You just think, we're just pushing against a wall. But, I'm starting to slip down. And coming back, we're going to do the lower one. So find a nice low point, and we're pulling away again. So apologies, I should have mentioned we need a piece of wall or a chair today. We've got another stretch next, which is going to use the chair. So you might want one near you, or just something that you can hold on to. And shake it off. So our next stretch with a chair, we're going to have two hands on it, and we're going to come back and we're going to hold onto it as we stretch down. So this one is another chest stretch. Goes more through these kind of armpit chest muscles. And I just want you to kind of pull away and down from the chair. So your head, try to let it stay straight with your spine. Don't let it just drop, because that's not ideal. That's not what we want. Let you guys get sorted. You're just holding here. Apologies again. Get set up at the start, Jess. Couple deep breaths. And coming up, if you want to go for a bit longer you can, because you weren't going as long as me. Shake it off. Give your wrists a bit of a roll. Coming back now to the middle, we need our, if you've got one, band. If you don't, that's okay. we're going to interlace our fingers behind our back, and we're just going to push our chest out. Just again, doing lots on the chest today. The chest is the most important, in my opinion, to stretch. We always forget it. If your hands don't interlace and you're not really comfortable, you can bring the band behind you and use the band as a way to hold your hands together. So if you can't see, I've got the band between my hands and I'm just pushing my chest out, pulling the band. Make sure your shoulders aren't up against your ears. Keep them low. And relax. Oh, chest is feeling it now. Give yourself a bit of jiggle. And we're going to go to all fours. Alright, into all fours, guys. We're going to do some cat-cows again. This time, we're going to try and focus on one part of the spine. So when we're doing it, we usually just kind of throw our body into it and do a little cow, but what I want us to focus on is the upper body. So when you're arching up, try and make it your upper body where the point is, where you curve. I don't know if you noticed, but because of the scoliosis, I don't get much. Try not to make it your whole back that's curving, just that upper body. You might want to tuck your chin into your chest as you do this. Pull your belly button into your spine and release. Take a big deep breath in and the opposite way. Now again, it's hard, it's very hard, but try and focus on that upper body curve. So don't just drop the hips or drop the lower back, drop your upper body. Try and get more curve through that thoracic spine. And back to the cat stretch. Yeah. Same again, we're doing all thoracic spine this time. So it's good to try and push away from the floor as well. Try and separate your shoulder blades. Try and push your back up where your thoracic spine is. And reverse. Now you can go at your own pace. We'll do a few more cycles of these. Go how you feel comfortable. You don't have to do just the upper body, but that's what I'm focusing on today. Couple more now. And we're going to make our way into child's pose. So drop that head, let everything hang loose. Your knees can be together, or if you want to, knees can be wide as the mat. So it's completely up to you, your preference. Now, while we're down here, we're going to do another lat stretch. So bringing ourselves over to one side and holding our hands together. I interlace, you can hold onto your wrist. And I'm just going to pull away from that side. You should feel it in your side body. Nice big stretch through your lats. If you want to, you can increase your reach. Take a few deep breaths here in this position. Try and breathe into those tight muscles. And over to the other side. Itchy nose. So if you want to, you can interlace those fingers and just pulling away. So if it helps, you can shut down the eyes. Try and relax those muscles with your brain. Tell your brain to have a look and let them go. And coming back to the midline. We're going to take our right or left hand, up to you, and we're going to thread it through our other arm and just do a really gentle twist. Now be careful with this one. I don't want you to throw yourself into it. Go to your range where you feel, yep, that's my stretch, and just hold it there. So you should really feel this stretch through that side's like shoulder blade muscles. And coming back up, other hand goes forward and threading that needle, or threading that hole. Only that gentle stretch. So if your stretch is all the way off and you're able to get a full-on twist going, then sure, but go to where you feel comfortable. Remember, I'm only doing what I'm comfortable doing, so you could always make it a bit harder on yourself, or if you want to make it easier, I do welcome it. You must get tired of hearing my voice for this half an hour. I know I do. But it's only half an hour, so we're almost done. And coming back. And we're going to go forward and we're going to face down on the mat, letting our hands go and slowly bringing them up to our chest. Let the feet just go nice and loose, and we're just going to push up. Now this one again, I don't want you to just throw your body into it. We're really focusing on that upper body rather than the full cobra stretch. So really try and focus on stretching through that thoracic spine with this one. You might find that your muscles get quite active through this. This is also a back extensor exercise. So you really need minimal pushing through your hands. And relax. Now we're going to bring our hands back, grabbing our hands together, interlace those fingers, and we're going to do the same stretch again without our hands there. So when you're ready, we're going to push our chest out and bringing ourselves up with our upper body off the floor. So this one's a good exercise to do again for those back extensors. It's good to stretch out through the chest. If you want to make it a bit harder, we can start to look at bringing the feet into it. But this is a beginner class, so we'll stick to the easy stuff. And relax. Alrighty guys, coming back into child pose. I'm going to take a few deep breaths here. I want you to try and walk your fingertips up higher and higher. Keep getting that stretch through your back. While we're here, we're going to do a bit of a body scan. So the body scan is just something that we do to kind of identify any tight muscles in our body. So start with the head, have a look at your head, see if there's anything going on in the muscles up there. Move down to your neck, into your shoulders, down your arms, each hand. If nothing's tight, we can move down the back, go to our lower back. It might be a bit tight through there. Try and focus your energy there. If the back's okay, we can move down to the glutes. If the glutes are feeling a bit tight, try and relax them into the thighs, the knees. Maybe the calves are a bit tight if you poked your toe out and got a bit of a cramp one time. Ankles or toes. So just give it a few more seconds here and focus on an area that you identified through that body scan, and think, relax, revive, stretch. And if you're comfortable and you feel pretty happy, we're going to come back up. We're going to face the screen. Oh, feel good. And just lastly, finish off with a nice gentle neck stretch. Because I don't know about you, but my neck was getting a little bit angry through some of those stretches. So really gently just give it a little gentle pull. And we'll finish off with this stretch. Other side. So just keeping your face pretty neutral. We're not looking up or down this time. We're really just working through that side neck, which hopefully isn't too tight for you guys. Alright. That brings us to the end of the session. I don't know about you guys, but my upper body is just loving life right now. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll hopefully see you next week.